who are you comparing yourself to? And how have they become a measuring stick that causes you to only observe the difference negatively between where you are and where they are, and all you see is the measure of failure in between. Hey there, dancers! Welcome back to the Confident Dancer YouTube channel. My name is Kirsten, and today I'm going to talk about why you actually should overestimate yourself as a dancer. I mean, overestimate how good of a dancer you are, how easily you can accomplish new movements, how well you can do movements, or what is possible for you. I'm going to give you full permission to overestimate yourself in this video, and you are probably already cringing. There are probably questions coming up in your mind like, how? What? No, no way. That's bad. And this is exactly why I'm making this video. So many dancers learn to underestimate themselves with a sense of duty, like I should. I don't want to think too highly of myself. That would make me arrogant. I don't want to think too highly of myself because then I'm going to be so surprised when I learn the truth that I'm actually not a good dancer. I don't want to become delusional about my skill set and not focus on the flaws I need to fix. That's actually going to make me lazy, negligent, and overall worse to think that I am a good dancer. And I'm going to prove to you in this video that that is mostly wrong. Buckle up, get ready, and let's get into the tips. Okay, I'm really coming at this video from my passion for the mind and teaching you guys how powerful your mind is. This is why we have so many sports psychologists out there. This is why people are now starting to talk about the power of the mind and how it affects not only obviously our mental health, but also our athletic performance. Yes, what you think and what you believe to be true and what you expect of yourself absolutely does have a tangible effect on how good you feel about your performance and how well you perform on a consistent basis. And here's why. I'm going to start by talking about this story arc that many dancers I've talked to, and I've lived this too, many of us experience this. I'm going to talk in this story about actually the power of being naive. And let me know in the comments if you've lived this too. A lot of dancers I start coaching come to me and they're so tired of being self-critical, they're so tired of self-doubt, just overtaking them and not only affecting their mental health, but their ability to perform their best. It's taking their focus away and their energy out of them when they're trying to dance well. And so they come to me with these issues and they want to fix it. They want to be able to focus. They want to be confident in who they are and what they have to offer. They want to be able to focus and give their full energy to class. They want their mind to actually help them perform better rather than getting in the way. And here's what I have seen when we start to dig into their story and like what happened, what changed for them that has been a change not for the better. A lot of them talk me through this story of starting dance, and there was a time when they experienced dance, they fell in love with it, it was mostly fun, and they felt this energy around dance that made them want to devote more time to it, or maybe even their lives. Maybe that's when they decided to be a professional. That's probably that time in your journey, like it was for mine, where I was just excited to dance. I loved the thrill of going to class. I loved the thrill and the satisfaction of just experimenting, trying, going for it. I loved seeing the progress. And I actually thought that I was quite good for a minute. I mean, I had my moments as like a little preteen, but for the most part, I really thought I could. I literally had thoughts, you guys. Maybe this wasn't your experience, but I had thoughts like, would I want to dance for this company or would I want to dance for that company? And they were like big companies, instead of asking the question like, will this tiny company in North Dakota take me? Will I be good enough? That's kind of, the more training we get, the more we start asking questions like that. And so we often go from being naive in a really great way, and it serves us. We have energy. We don't think to limit or doubt ourselves so much. And that's usually the time where we fall in love with dance and we want to be serious about it. And that's when a change occurs. Because we want to be serious about it, we now feel that we need to live up to certain expectations. We go from, I want to dance, I can dance, to I should be dancing this way, and I'm not. I can't do this. I should be doing that better. This isn't good enough yet. I have to do that. And this pressure comes in that starts getting us in this mentality of looking very critically at where we are and measuring it to this very far away goal or a picture in our heads of a dancer that's not even us. Maybe it's totally out there, like this dancer who is in a professional company and years older than you. Or maybe you start comparing yourself to the dancers who are years younger than you and absolute prodigies. Maybe you're comparing yourself to the dancers on Instagram who have just achieved fame at 11 years old. You know, think, who are you comparing yourself to? And how have they become a measuring stick that causes you to only observe the difference negatively between where you are and where they are, and all you see is the measure of failure in between? Tell me if this is resonating. That is where we start to really doubt ourselves, be critical of ourselves, and underestimate ourselves. And when I say underestimate, I mean we start to think, I should change that. It's going to be really hard though. That's when we start to decide, oh, I'm really bad at this, or I'm not the kind of dancer who can do that. I'm not a natural turner. I'm not this. So I'm going to work on it, but it's going to be really hard for me. See how we start to have these interpretations that are like, okay, I've got these things. Here's where I'm at. I need to fix it. It's going to be hard. And we, in that mindset, number one, we often overestimate our limitations and we live within them. We underestimate how much change is actually possible. We're very quick to define our limitations and our stuckness, like, oh, this is probably the kind of dancer I'm going to be. I can't hope for too much. And a lot of times that mindset of like, I can't expect too much out of myself, that's actually a self-protection mechanism because we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to get disappointed. And in this new mentality of seeing the distance between where we are and where we want to be, rather than just fully appreciating where we are, being in a mindset of experimentation and possibility, and if they can, why not me? You know, I'm going to call that the naive in a good way mindset. I'm just totally making that up. But that is where so many of our issues creep in. And so I want to actually start to challenge you to think, is that naivete, that word bothers me. I don't think I'm saying it right. Naivety? You know what I mean? Is being naive such a bad thing? Most of the time what I've observed is, yes, it has its blind spots, it has its challenges, but it's often the thing that gets us to accelerate, that gets us just past our barrier of disbelief and judgment, just enough to take the action to do the thing. And so I want to invite you to just start to think through this video. What could be the power of actually assuming I can rather than assuming I can't but trying anyway? Because I know you dancers, you're going to put in the work anyway. Most of you are not just going to give up, but that mindset of like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'll keep trying, it just almost assures that your journey will be harder than it needs to be. So in this video, I want to talk about how it is actually very valuable to look at what someone else is doing and say, if they can, why not me? To look at the level of success you want and saying, well, many people have achieved it before, so why not me? And then looking at what you're doing well and actually assessing that as, yes, good job. I did a good job with that. This actually does have a positive effect. It gives you the motivation and the energy to move forward. So many dancers get to the point of being a serious dancer, and what happens is, because they focus so much on all the things they have to fix, they actually become blind to the value they have to offer and the strengths they have. That's what you're marketing, that's what you're selling if you ever audition. And those are the things you can celebrate and be proud of. And so if you're not seeing it, and if you don't believe it, how do you think other people are going to see and believe in it in that same way? What kind of effect do you think that's going to have on you? I think it will cause you to underestimate yourself, go for opportunities that are less than what you're capable of, and also cause you to feel demotivated to take the action necessary to create the growth you want to see. Hey there, isn't it true that as dancers, we spend so much time and energy training our bodies, but if we don't train our minds for success, which, let's face it, dancers are not taught how to do, it's our mental struggles and limitations that can really hold us back from fulfilling our potential in dance. So if you're noticing that you're not quite either having the experience in dance that you want to have or dancing at the level you want, and you're feeling like it's your mind that's holding you back, I want to invite you to join the Confident Dancer Collective. In this uniquely designed group coaching program that is truly one of a kind, you will learn incredibly powerful psychological principles and techniques to help you improve at a speed and in ways that you might not have thought were possible. Learn to perform your personal best consistently by harnessing the power of your mind, and develop a healthy and authentically confident mindset that helps you to feel good in your own skin while you dance. So if you really want to learn these mental tools to help you get to your personal best level as a dancer, whether you are a professional dancer or a passionate recreational dancer, a ballet dancer or a Scottish Highland dancer, yes, I've worked with them all, this program is for you. If you get your application in now, you will not only be one of the first to be accepted whenever enrollment officially opens, but you will also get an early bird bonus of a free mindset coaching session with me individually if you enroll before September 29th. So get in on that generous bonus offer, and I can't wait to see you in the program. Enjoy the rest of the video. I also want to rope into this video some quotes from this book I've been reading. It's called The Expectation Effect. I highly recommend it. It is so great because it includes all these studies that are peer-reviewed, very thorough, and they go through these studies that actually give us proof that your mind and what it believes and the expectations and predictions that you're making have tangible and measurable outcomes that it creates on your mental health, your physical health, and your athletic performance. It really matters, you guys. So the first study I want to cite here from the group, which proves the power of overestimating yourself, which I really think it's not so much overestimating yourself as having a mentality that helps you to tap into potential that you've never fulfilled before. It helps you to reach into realms and potentials within yourself that you never reached or imagined before. It's the act of setting your sights higher so you actually reach for it, and then through that reaching for it and looking for it, you discover tangible evidence to support that you're capable of more than you thought. So no, it's not just based off of a lie, you know? Anyway, so this study, it says, and I'm quoting this from page 111 from The Expectation Effect. It says, to find out if positive feedback could alter this basic measure of fitness, which they're talking about VO2 max levels, Jeff Montez and Gabriel Wolf at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, asked a group of participants to undergo 2 VO2 max tests. Although the first test was accurately measured, some participants were given false positive feedback. In a casual conversation, they were told that their score was better than most other members in the group, while those in the control group were not given this encouraging information. Within a few days, they took the VO2 max test again, and those with the enhanced expectations scored significantly better, while those in the control group performed slightly worse. Overall, there was a roughly 7% difference in performance between the two groups. In other words, how fit someone appeared according to the standard test of aerobic capacity changed according to how fit they thought they were. This disproves factually that whatever level of performance you're seeing in yourself is just fixed, it's just stuck. Your body might just be performing according to the limits you feel and perceive and have in your head. So if you start to adopt these mentalities, which I'm going to go ahead and suggest to you some great ways to start walking this out, some great mantras that you can repeat to yourself to start shifting your mindset as you're in class are the mantra, of course I can. Think of whatever you want to improve or do. Say, of course I can. Another one is, if them, why not me? When you see someone else doing something you want to do, if them, why not me? Take what they're doing as evidence that it's possible. And I like to really depersonalize it and say, I know sometimes we can get caught up in like, oh, but they have a better ballet body than me or whatever. Okay, I understand. But sometimes I love to just be like, they have 2 arms and 2 legs. I have 2 arms and 2 legs. They can do it, I can too. You know, it's almost tapping into the power of being a little naive because your expectations do affect your performance. Even to cite another story in this book, there's another example that was given of a cyclist getting ready for the Tour de France, and he was given a fake injection. Well, it was a real injection, but the solution was just a basic saline solution. He was told that it was a performance-enhancing drug applied through the buttocks right before his race, and he outperformed himself by 1.5%. based off of his previous records. Just because of a fake injection! Okay, that shows that it was the power of his beliefs and expectations, the power that he thought was coming from the injection, it was really coming from his mind. So there really is power to saying, of course I can. If them, why not me? When you take class, tell yourself that you could do something easily. You guys, I use this trick all the time, and it really does make a difference. When I'm even having trouble focusing my mind on that, and let's say before we do an adagio in ballet class, a lot of times people will already start moaning and groaning. And since I know the power of the mind, I really focus myself on, of course I can. Yes, I can do that easily. Yes. Try it. I'm sure you'll feel what I felt, which is that my legs literally feel lighter. I can feel fatigue setting in counts later than if I have this mentality of, oh, it's going to be hard. Oh, it's going to be painful. Oh, I can't do it. Your expectations are so powerful. Assume it's easy. That taps into some principles that I learned from another book I highly recommend called Effortless by Greg McKeown. This book is so powerful because he talks about this mindset that you can have that actually releases excess hardship and resistance that we often unknowingly add to our process. When you think something is hard, you will take actions and have cluttered thoughts that then make it feel hard. When you assume, I can easily do this, yes, sometimes you do find out maybe it's a little more involved than you thought, but just taking that next step with, oh, okay, I can do that easily, or even asking yourself the question, maybe this will be easier than I thought. That will open your mind to the possibility that it can be easier than you think. And notice how much more ease and lack of tension you have in your body, even energy, when you start to have thoughts like that. Another one is you can actually write yourself a blank check. Give yourself permission to go for anything that you want. Instead of thinking, oh, I've only jumped this high, or I've only ever done splits instead of over splits, tell yourself, I give permission to myself to go for the middle splits. And because you're setting your sights on the middle split and you're telling yourself, of course I can do that, you will be willing to take the action necessary to do it. If you stay stuck on only thinking, well, I've only done this in the past, so that's all I can do, your mind and body will follow suit. The next thing is to throw yourself into things that you once thought you couldn't do. Take big steps, not baby steps. Of course, context is important on this one, so, mind your safety, but allow yourself to experiment and just go for things that you think are a little crazy. This will start to give you new evidence that you are actually more capable than you thought. Dancers, I really hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you've got some helpful tips from it. I am so excited for some of you to really put this into action and see that it actually does work. Your expectations have power. And your mind is very, very powerful. So don't be afraid to think you can. It might feel like overestimating yourself. I don't really believe it actually is. Even if you try something and you don't get the result you want, keep assuming you can. Just give it more time and practice and you can. Okay, that is it for me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.